So hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. So let's start with some PvP gaming. And if it turns out it's not that nice, not that good today, I think I will go very quickly into World vs. World. Let's see. Hope you had a good day. So I was testing some Hammer Catalyst games recently, and especially after the Chronomancer nerfs, this build is really good. It's apparently a really strong side noder now. Because the only issue it has is that it's quite squishy. But against Willbenders, you can go into the offense instead and try to, kill them with your counter pressure, and then most likely you actually can kill them even if they outnumber you, which is really cool. Not a lot of side node builds can do this. Of course, you have to survive the first burst, or at least try to mitigate it as much as you can. Let's see if we can get some Hammer Catalyst gameplay in. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. So hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. It's crazy how long the queue times are even at prime time. It's actually a really bad sign for the health of PvP and the population in general. When you are at European prime time queuing and you still have to wait at least 5 minutes. It's not how it should be. And then we get a match pop and someone doesn't accept it or declines, and then we have to wait again. A little bit sad. Okay, there we go. That's a really good Necromancer game. Just, I have to go. Just because Blunt Traps is a mediocre to good Elementalist. And Necromancers is really obnoxious against Elementalists. Especially Conti Reaper. He applies so much conditions. So here I'm going actually a little bit try hard and swap in the last second to Reaper. Just because I can. And it might confuse the enemies or at least deny them some information. It's the build. Nothing special here. Just the old school pistol Death Magic Condi Reaper. I think it's really, really strong against those players. They don't have any threat to me. Maybe the Mirage if it's Power Mirage. But after the nerfs it's definitely way worse. So that was, yeah, a bad start definitely, but my team is doing something, I hope. Yeah, I guess in this situation you should definitely play with Spectral Walk if 4 people engage auto stealth on you. Yeah, I think that's a tough one.
The enemy has taken point B.
I think I have to go far now, just to go for a 3-point play. Because otherwise we will just get snowballed permanently. On this map, 100 points behind is just too much. Maybe someone is answering. Doesn't really look like it.
Point C is yours now.
It's insane. They are surging permanently and my team is not reacting to it properly.
Point C is in enemy hands. Point A is yours.
There are always 4 people fighting, or 3, and we lose the team fight. It's really bad. I think it's not winnable. I play bad and my team is really bad. You see 101 lost against a mechanist. That says everything. I don't think... of course. What the fuck? There again 3 people here. I don't get it. And that's why, you know, this is a match where I think I played really bad. But even if I played really good, I think it's lost. So I think that's the main reason why people don't want to queue, because the result of a match is decided by the matchmaking, not by your gameplay. So our Necromancer, 1 of 1v2.
Point A is yours.
200 points behind on Skyhammer is actually, if we win this, it's actually such a hard throw from the enemies. It's insane. It's a great sword Mirage, okay. Problem is also timer, you know.
Point B belongs to you.
No, he's dead. So now I do something interesting. I will let him bleed even though the point is not kept, but he's the best player in the enemy team. So he can't do anything now. And they don't get any points. It's a really tough decision. That's something you can do if you're really desperate. You know, because if the best player is not on the map, we can win the map, even though I could have kept the point in the meantime. Would have been, of course, even better if I had the point. So now we have to be a little bit careful. They are fully committing here. The CC chain is actually legendary.
Cannon operational. Ready for targeting coordinates.
Point B belongs
The bleeds are insane. We have permanently at least 1 or 2 players of the enemy team bleeding. It's actually a comeback. I would have never thought that it's possible to come back from such a match. That's why I should never surrender.
Point C is yours now.
If we now can get a kill on Plantex again,
The enemy has point
we have a really good winning chance.
Point B belongs to you.
Perfect.
Point A is yours. The enemy has taken point B. Point C is in enemy hands.
How are we actually... I'm against 4 people here.
Point B belongs to you.
What is going on? Hopefully they get the kill on the Necromancer. Please, please get the kill. Let him cap. Oh no, no, we lost.
The enemy has point A.
So sad. We could have won that easily. The first half I played bad, but then when we got back in the match, I mean it's still not over, but doesn't look good.
Point A is yours. Point C is in enemy hands.
Kill him, please. So now I have to go close here, just to make sure that they don't get the cap, but it doesn't look good.
The enemy has point A.
We actually got the decap here. It's not lost, but we only have 30 seconds. They got the kill, but they get the cap, so it's probably lost at this point.
Point B belongs to you.
Sad. Actually sad. It was so close. It was an intense game. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes. Was fun. I mean, definitely winnable, but it's really tough when your team is completely trolling permanently. And we did really nice. I think our Revenant and our Necro were good, but the other two were so bad in the rotations that we had such big problems. We only could come back in the middle leader because we had 3 people at one point bleeding of the enemy team. I think we wouldn't actually have won if we didn't give the cap in the last minute. I was not there, so I can't tell how easy or hard the point was contested. But if we didn't give the point there to the enemy team, they didn't get 20 points, or at least 10 points, and then we would have won, but just by points after the timer. So close. Yeah, can't change it. Yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Always happy to answer. If I played that match better in the beginning, it would have been an easy win. I don't know. It's actually... Why would you play DH if there's Willbender? Willbender is so strong currently, especially in ranked. Either they don't have the expansion, or they just enjoy Willbender. Not at all. But I actually think Willbender is really fun to play. It's really obnoxious to play against because it's so fast, it does so much damage. But it's really fun to play. That's... No, that's a Condi. Is it a Condi? It looks like a conditioned Berserker, which is good. It's a side note build. I'm not sure if it can withstand a DD Catalyst, but let's see. Could be a fun match again.
The match starts soon.
It's crazy how late some people swap. Wouldn't do that just to be safe because it... Okay, I thought it would be a Mesmer support, but I guess now it's a warrior support. So our DH is running far. Maybe it's a bunker DH, that would be good. No, it's not a bunker. Oh no. I'm quite good against Power Necro.
Enemy captured the windmill.
Oh no, it's a Scepter. I'm not good against Scepter. Necro, Scepter. Banner, please. Okay, we got the kill here. Scepter Daredevil, that's a cook.
Enemy captured the match.
So we have a support, please let the thief always push, and then... So if you have a support and a thief, it's really good if you don't want to push 3 nodes, just to make sure that the thief gets value. Of course, if you have a good team, you can go 3 nodes anyway, and the thief gets decaps and +1s. But in most cases, in ranked, it's really risky to go 3 nodes if your team is not very competent. Just play it safe, slow, and you win.
Enemy captured the windmill. Clock tower captured. Attack by target.
Close. So I always jump when I use the skill because it's a projectile, yes. But it's also explodes on... It also explodes when it's let's say at the maximum range, and this can be enough to get the stun anyways, even though you're out of range. It's really strong if you can do it in the... So Cygnus is actually a rather good PvP player. Probably duo queuing with Plemthex here, but it's fine. This will just...
Windmill captured.
I will always land this. It's really easy. Just wait 3 seconds and we get the...
Enemy captured the windmill.
Here I just peeled so that my thief could get the rest. It's much easier for a thief to rest than for me because the thief can even stealth so they don't see it at first. I can get some peel, maybe even get some attention so that my team... So is this a condition
Windmill captured.
chronomancer with... It's actually that's a cook. Condition chronomancer with gravity well.
Assistance needed.
Just have our
Clock tower.
DH here. It's not a spot where you want to be in. As a DH probably. Yeah, and then we get the kill. It's really easy. If you come in even as a slow class as a Reaper and they don't have a stun break,
Enemy captured the mansion.
Can't breathe.
Enemy captured the clock tower.
how did we lose the whole map? I mean, the dagger buffs are definitely strong on Elementalist. You have so much damage and such short cooldowns. So our warrior will probably win this 1-on-1, but let's make sure. So if we get the cap here, the Necromancer is completely useless. If our Guardian wouldn't push in the 1v2. It's actually crazy. I get CC chain just by getting hit by one skill.
Clock tower captured.
Even though I have a 20-second cooldown stun break. So they're all going close now. I will just push far. Because I will probably get the attention from Plamtax.
Enemy captured the clock tower. Windmill captured.
Oh, that's so unlucky. Just spamming. That's Mesmer is so obnoxious. This was such a bad Mesmer. He played it so badly. He just spammed interrupts and he got lucky and interrupted all my skills. So hi Joe, how are you today? It's actually really frustrating.
Capture the windmill.
Yeah, I have fun, but I still feel so bad because I lost twice now, just because we throw the match, and that's so sad. Yeah, that's sad. Okay, let's play some World vs. World. At least there we can decide if we want to play alone and don't get any teammates that just troll you. So I did not play that particularly good, or well, rather. But I would also say that it's just really frustrating to lose a match like this. Twice. So I'm just playing the typical WvW build. I made a video about it. It's really good, especially for roaming. It's not the best roaming build right now, but it's really fun to play, especially in 1-on-1s. It's really strong because you can deal so much damage. So you see, we have here a thief. It's not a match, 2 thieves. Not a matchup I would normally take. Don't want to die against 2 thieves here. Just make sure that maybe I can. Yeah, so you want to see some Mesmer roaming videos? You can do that. And I will, after this tick, I will swap to Mesmer. What do you want to see? Some special build or just Mesmer in general? I think the spear nerf to Mesmer is really noticeable. So power Mesmer is still a valid pick. I think it's way worse now. So you have to be really careful. Yeah, I think roaming on Mesmer currently, I think you have two choices here. Either you go some power build and try to burst people, but you are not good at let's say sustained fights, or at least you have to disengage and re-engage after you have a cooldown spec. And I feel this game style is not that fun if you just disengage and then re-engage. I don't like this. I like to fight to the end. It's not the not the most effective way, but I feel like that's the way I enjoy to fight. And the other playstyle is some condition virtuoso build, and I really dislike virtuoso. I think at least in PvE I like it, of course, but in PvP I feel like I don't like the Mesmer. Is for me something that is fast-paced, something that has instant shatters, something that is you can react, you can overwhelm enemies by just pressing a lot of buttons. Virtuoso is the opposite of that. Virtuoso is so slow-paced. You have so many inworms, you have so many casted skills. I don't really enjoy that. That's why I don't play Virtuoso, or at least Mesmer currently in roaming. What are you playing? Yeah, the old days 10 years ago. Definitely, I would say the build is probably not the same anymore. But I think then you might like Virtuoso. I think the condition Virtuoso variant is rather close to the original condition Mesmer. Of course, it's completely different from the attacks you use and the skills, how they play out. But it's still a rather similar playstyle, I would say. I also thought about doing some condition chronomancer, but that's just way too much of a cook. You don't have enough sustain to support your condition damage only, and it's also not particularly strong in the sense that you don't have that much burst with for example, if you hit an F2 on a Virtuoso, you have 5 projectiles, each of them apply confusion, so you get a confusion spike up to 16 or something. And then if the enemy doesn't cleanse it, or even if they cleanse it, they will get a hit from at least, I don't know, let's say they will get 4 to 6k just from this spike. And if they can't cleanse it at all, they will die from it. And Chronomancer can't do that, so I would say that's really fun if you land a combo and the enemy dies just because you hit the confusion spike. That's really fun. But like I said, I'm not a Virtuoso enjoyer. And I really think the meta currently in roaming after the Celestial nerfs is actually not that crazy good. It's oftentimes not that fun. We have one guy here. Let's see if we can contest it. Nice, I stole the camp. Very sweet. Got him. Even can get a port stomp, that's nice. Okay, wasn't necessary. Willbender is really fun to play. Because it's so fast paced that you have so much damage. I really like it currently. I also think they should nerf spear damage. Or I think the spear damage might be okay if they really adjust the Willbender virtues, because there's so much damage, they are so overloaded on damage. If they increase the cooldown, then it might be okay. And that's why I also don't really enjoy to play power Virtuoso build currently. Because the damage, the burst might be more instant, but it's definitely not more damage in general overall, and you have so much more sustain as a Willbender. This guy is lagging hard. It's also really nice if you have a lot of port skills, because then you can easily get away from this Zerg ganking, because they most likely can't follow up on this. Yeah, nothing really special going on here. But at least there are some small fights. So shout out to all the guys on YouTube. If you didn't see my video yet, if you're a subscriber, you can enter a giveaway for 500 gold. So don't forget to do this. We have almost 1 week left, so don't panic. And if you want even more, you can come by on Saturday, because we will do another giveaway here on stream live. Welcome back. Yes, of course, gremlins have to roam, so that's where I banned them. They have to, it's the only thing they can do, roaming and Zerg play. Makes sense, because they can hide in a Zerg, you know, that's why. No, it's really important, not only for the inventory, that you can keep a clean inventory, just the world versus world stuff, but for me it's also really important. I play all the game modes, so I have a lot of characters, and all of them have a purpose, and then I have not only the inventory space for my characters, but also the builds. So all the builds are world versus world only, and all the equipment templates also world versus world only. So I don't have to mess up my PvE and PvP build templates on other characters. Yeah, I know. I actually watched it. I think it's actually a fun movie. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not the most child-friendly Christmas movie I could imagine, but it's a fun movie. It's old now, but it's still worth watching, I would say. And Christmas is coming up, so maybe that's an excuse to do it again, I guess. I think one of the gremlins is actually named Gizmo or something like this. And I actually had a Asura called like that. Because I was reminded of exactly this guy. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah. It's a weird genre, especially for children. The funny part, yes, but the horror part, I wouldn't say is something you would normally let a young child see. Especially not to Christmas, I would imagine. I'm still grinding some really cool montage plays for my Willbender montage here. Sadly, nothing too interesting yet. I'm still looking forward to the day where I engage on 5 people and get some one-shot on at least 2 of them, and then we can cleave them. That would be so epic. Yes, definitely. How's it called? I know the English name. Let me quickly check. Home Alone. It's just Home Alone. Yeah. I think this one is also such a classic. I don't know if it's such a classic only in Germany or if other countries also watch movies like this. Of course, in USA, where it comes from, it's probably also a movie that's somewhat popular. Yeah, I think the younger generation is completely Netflix or at least streaming service dependent. They don't know classical movies. They most likely just watch some TV show or some really blockbuster movie like Barbie. Or maybe some older kids maybe watched at the same time. How's it called? The Oppenheimer. Yeah. No, they got the camp. Let's do Thieves again. No. Oh, that was close. I would have gotten him. So let's see. I have the feeling yeah, I mean, I agree. Old movies are actually such classics that sometimes they are just really good because they are old. They would be, if you would release a movie with the same quality now, it would be not good. It's just a classic, and now that's because it's good. And I know a lot of movies with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer, and I also like them. It's so fun to watch. Did you know that I think it was Bud Spencer? He was a really, really good swimmer. I wasn't expecting that when I saw the movie with him first. I think he even did championships and stuff. It's really fun. Yeah, there's a lot of thought put into the movies, how to make it look somewhat plausible without having any computer-generated effects. Yeah, I mean, some movies, if you would see the actors just playing the normal part without any computer stuff, you would probably not recognize the movie, which is quite sad and funny at the same time, I would say. There's the enemy circle. Nice, I actually got the 1v3. Sorry, I had to concentrate there for a bit. But I actually got it. That's a clip I can put in my roaming montage. Finally. Seems like my team is nowhere to be seen. There are some people. I mean, you are now talking, I think, the Bud Spencer and Terence Hill movies. I think they are from when are they? 1960s or something. They are really old. So yes, they had to do that. They had not a lot of, let's say, assistance. So a movie was more like a theater. You set something up to just play your normal act, and you don't have any props. Yeah, I think it was really cool. But I would say a lot of people don't enjoy movies like that anymore because they expect the more modern look. I think that's a take you can have. I'm not sure if it's the best one because it devalues the old movies just because they are old. I think that's not a fair point. But I guess everyone can have an opinion. Yeah, it's totally fine. You can watch wherever you like. It's not. That's why I stream on both platforms. Because I know a lot of people, at least in my small community, are more active on YouTube, which is totally fine. Of course, I would like to expand and get more people to watch me on Twitch as well. But that also involves a lot of time and patience. So I just try to stream consistently now, at least twice a week. And I hope you can appreciate that, and hopefully we get more people in our small community. I'm also planning on releasing my Discord server soon, so that we can more easily, if you are interested in new uploads or my plans for the next videos, you can join the Discord, and then you can get some insights, or at least see when I uploaded a new video or go online on a stream or something. So just, I would say, of course, if I stream, I would stream on both, because otherwise it would be just sad, I waste my time without, so not wasted, but, I play the game, I have fun, and one platform just doesn't get to see it. That would be sad. So I think I just stream on both. And if people want to join on Twitch, they can join on Twitch. If they want to join on YouTube, they can join on YouTube. It's fine. Yeah, I will continue for sure. So the next patch, you mean probably the patch, when will it be? Let's see. In 27 days, at least. That's what I hope. So the next patch, so it will release of course, some new story, some new gameplay, hopefully. Will probably not expand the map, I don't know for sure in PvE. But for competitive modes it will bring 6 new relics, I think. That's good. I really look forward to that, so that's a good thing. I would also say that the new legendary spear that's coming with the next patch, I'm really looking forward to. And I really hope it's a long-term goal and not something that I can do on the first day. But I fear it will be rather fast, so hopefully it also looks good. And I also really look forward to the new raid, and hopefully it's good, just so that I can also stream some endgame PvE content. But I'm most excited, I would say, for the relics, because I really enjoy the new relics. The Stormsinger one is really fun. And I also think the Broken Rivers relic is also fun because it allows so much build craft. I wouldn't say it's a particularly exciting one just by design, but it's really strong and allows so much build craft. So that's why I really look forward to the new relics, just to maybe get some new builds going. And I really hope they also change some stuff. For example, I really hope they change some Necromancer Spear, but maybe it's too much cope. Yeah, I think the new push game mode, I think it's not coming out yet. I think they have to iterate on it multiple times. I think there will be more than one beta test. I hope at least, because I think there was some bugs, and I also think it's not the best game mode, but let's see. Yeah, sure. So they said, first they say it would be much better to not have quickness and alacrity at all, but they can't change that back. So now they add not only alacrity and dodge, but also quickness and dodge. Sounds like a good idea. I mean, if you kept up with my solo build guides for PvE, it's insane how easy it is in PvE to just get all boons permanently now with those relics. It's insane. And in PvP it was the same with the Chronomancer build. Now at least they reacted to it, but how long was it? 2 months now? I think it's way too slow. So I'm not sure if they should release such spicy relics and then don't react to it. No, we sadly don't have any preview yet for the map patch. I really hope they will communicate something, because it's not even a month now, and I would really like to see some hype for the patch. You know, maybe show the new spear, maybe show some really cool new relic animations or something where you can speculate that it's quickness on dodge or something, you know. No, I don't know, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually really cool if you had, let's imagine we have River's Relic, and we have another relic that is also such a strong effect, you know, almost, or at least the same amount of broken as the River's Relic. And then you get another one like this in the next patch, and then you have to decide between those broken relics, you know. I think that's a really good spot. But the problem is they just release one of those broken relics every time, and then you have everyone runs it on every build. And I think that's not good. I think you should, if you do relics, you should do something that is really competing, you know, that you have to make a tough decision about, okay, should I go for alacrity on dodge, or should I go for quickness on dodge or something like this? I think that's a really cool build crafting behind it, because you only have one spot. Yeah, I mean, I think so Willbender still has alacrity in World vs. World? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really tough. We always criticize the balance team, but I will be, let's say, really positive and say they try their best, and I also think it's really hard to cater to all people, you know. There are always some people that say, holy shit, they nerfed my really, really fun rival warrior because they changed it to something that wasn't before. But a lot of other people say, oh, it's way better now. So it's tough. I think it's really tough to be in their spot, in their place. Yeah, I think the problem is that they just can't balance a lot of stuff. For example, I really enjoyed the Tempest Alacrity because it was such a fun support build in the Zerg play, you know. You had the ability to just spam out your cooldowns and give your teammates Alacrity as well. It was really fun. And then they nerfed it, and now it's the straight is actually you don't run it at all. There's no way you will run some Might application. And I think that's just sad because they just give in and tell us, okay, we can't do it. We can't balance Alacrity in World versus World. Yeah, I think it's really annihilating some buildcraft potential you can have in competitive modes just because they say it's not balanceable for us. Got him. Yeah, I think it's weird that they say some classes are a big problem, like Elementalist and, for example, Scorch, where they say, okay, no, Alacrity is not possible on this build. And then some classes they say, yeah, it's fine if you have Alacrity on this build. Because if you really go for it, you can, of course, play a Celestial or something, Willbender, where you put out a lot of Alacrity for your team. So I think it's a weird design decision to say, okay, we remove it from some classes that are currently played and don't remove it from classes that are not that played, but they will be played if you nerf the Alacrity as well. Yeah, I agree. It's really weird. I think it should, I'm not sure, it's really hard. I think it should be playable. I think they should just adjust the amount of Alacrity you give so that but it's really, that's the problem. For example, in PvP you can say, okay, it gives you, let's say, only 2 seconds or something. But in World versus World you would just say, okay, then we play 10 Willbenders and we still have permanent Alacrity. So, it's not... problem is still there. That's why I can understand that they have a problem to address this issue. Because they don't really know how to do it. But I think it's a really sad one that they just can't deal with it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really hard. I think it's also really confusing for new players. So imagine you're a new player and you get into the game and play some PvE, and you have class and it gives Alacrity and you really enjoy it to support your team, and then you go into World versus World and it's just split and you give a completely different boon and it's completely just a shit build because you don't give any Alacrity anymore. That's such a weird feeling because you essentially say, nah, this is not playable in competitive modes. And the new player will say, what? Why? It's really not, intuitive. And I think it's a good place if you give Alacrity on your relic or something, but it's at the same time, if it's some AoE, it would be really dangerous, because you will get the same situation as before. You will have a circ, 50 men, all of them will have alacrity. So I mean, I totally agree that some skills that are really strong should have a different cooldown. I think that's totally fine. The cooldown is, for me, is not an issue. I think the problem is when they start to admit that they can't balance the game properly, and then they decide, okay, we just have to nuke the skill in a game mode, and then we have a problem, and then we have a completely different build. I think that's the problem. Yeah, I think in an ideal world you would have the same cooldowns, the same stuff everywhere, but that's just not feasible. I don't see any world where you, for example, would have cooldown of, how much is it, 60 seconds or something, renewed focus in competitive modes. It's just way too broken. So I think the cooldowns should always be split if it's too broken. Nice. Of course, the Kremlin one. It's actually fun because he thought he would have the advantage, because I was surprised, but it didn't matter in the end. Yeah, I think Guild Wars lacks this in general, some kind of preview how to play your build, how to play your class. And it would really help to see, okay, in World vs. World, this skill is different, you know, some highlighting. I think would be enough to say, if you enter World vs. World, this skill, for example, blinks up because it has a higher cooldown or something, and it's marked that this is up. No, of course, Willbender, I mean, so let me clarify this. Willbender is, of course, the Guardian spec that has the least value from unit focus, in the sense that you don't get that much value from resetting your virtues, because the cooldown is anyway really low. But, and that's the important part, it's your only, and it's really the only defensive skill you have in this build, in the sense that you don't get any damage. So you can just pop this, and if you would have a 60-second cooldown, you can almost, combo it with all your really broken virtues and have permanent protection and stuff. And therefore, this is a really important skill, especially in PvP, where you will die in a second if you don't have that up. But I agree, it's definitely a fun thing to say. The elite that is the least strong on this Guardian spec is the thing that enables it. Oh, I think the thing why Willbender is so strong is Spear in combination with the strong virtues. If you remove the virtue effect, or at least, I mean, decreased the effectiveness so that the cooldowns is higher, especially on the Crashing Courage, and decrease some spear damage, you deal with Willbender. It would be in a good spot, I would say. In World vs. World, you can see it's actually in a better spot than in PvP, because you just die from some really heavy outnumbers or condition specs. Yeah, if you use the invulnerability too early or don't use it at all, you will probably die. But if you do it in the correct... Sorry, I have to concentrate now. Holy shit, how much power damage does this guy? on the scepter. Yeah, so I think there are some people, especially in ranked, they play with this skill just because it gives you quickness and super speed, so it will enable your full burst during your maximum boons. So quickness and fury. So all your abilities are really fast. But I think this is just a ranked build, and it's even in ranked it's not that good because you need the invulnerability. I really feel like if I play a ranked match or play a like you saw in the previous 101 against the Guardian, against the other Willbender, if I take a hit and get below 50%, I might die with the next hit. So if I don't have any invulnerability, it might be at any point that I lose the matchup. If I have invulnerability and use it at the correct time, I can make or break the fight just because I tank a hit that the enemy Guardian wouldn't have expected me to tank. And I can completely turn the fight just by not dodging and dodging the next attack that is way more important to dodge. So I really enjoy having an invulnerability skill. And in World vs. World, 90-second cooldown is actually not that long. Yeah, hi, Loot Hoarder. Glad you enjoy my YouTube. I really try to keep up with all the ideas and content I want to push out. And I really think it's worthwhile to do some streaming because I really enjoy streaming, and I think a lot of people want to ask some questions, get some gameplay. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially those that don't play Willbender, always think, oh, it's a Willbender. We can't kill it that easily or something. But it's such an illusion. If you played Willbender once, you can see you have something like 16 to 18k HP, and they can be gone in milliseconds, even in a 101. So you have to be really, really careful. And if you then combined it with the renewed focus, you're much more safe because then you know, okay, I'm pressured, and if I react fast enough, I have a 3 seconds window where I can reposition and rethink my strategy. It's so valuable. That's why, for example, Hammer Catalyst or something is also really dangerous because you have a lot of defense. You have Magnetic Aura, you have Static, the Shocking Aura. But if you get bursted 100% to 0%, you have no way of interrupting this burst because you don't have any invulnerability skill. So it's so dangerous. If a Willbender engages on you, you get a really nice burst, but don't kill it. You will instantly see the unit focus on it, and then you have a problem because you don't have anything like that. Just to reset the fight to some extent. But that's also a reason why Willbender is not that good in outnumbered situation, because if you pop your renewed focus, you will die in the next few seconds after you have that. Because you don't have any resustain just because you pop the renewed focus. Of course you get your courages, but if you can't get the, disengage just from using your courages, it's not enough. But I still like it. It's really strong in World vs. World. And in PvP, actually, I would say even more in ranked. If you just engage a team fight and then you kill one target instantly, that's not a lot of classes can do that at the moment. I would really like to make a video about how much gold I get per hour just by roaming, just to make some. Oh, that's a lot of people. Just to give some really nice feedback, because a lot of people think World vs. World doesn't give you any gold, especially if you roam. But I think it's actually not that bad. I think it's at least 5 to 10 gold per hour that you can make just by roaming. Would make a fun YouTube video to prove them wrong and say it's really nice. Actually, it gives you some gold and a lot of fun. So would you guys be interested in a PvE stream as well? Some fractals and some strike missions maybe? Or would you say that's not interesting to you at all? Or maybe even some raids, whatever. Are you here for the competitive content of my mediocre to good gameplay? Or do you think it's more about the knowledge I can provide and the maybe entertainment for you? One thing I never understood is that ArenaNet doesn't promote the World vs. World content at all. So Crouch said, I think it was a few years ago now, that World vs. World is the cornerstone game mode, and they don't promote it at all. They always show some PvE maps, some weird story. Why don't they show the World vs. World gameplay? It's so much more fun. And a lot of people would be attracted to it, I would say, because not a lot of games have this. If you look at Throne of Liberty, yes, they have it, but I would say it's not comparable to Guild Wars 2, because you are just one single person, and here you have way more impact. For example, if you get a really nice meteor shower on your really bursty elementalist, you can swing a even 50-man Zerg fight. I think that's really cool. And not a lot of MMOs have this large-scale events, in competitive modes at least. And they should market that. I really think so. Especially as Guild Wars has two major, let's say, good things about it. Advantages over all other MMOs. And that's, first, it has a really good, it's not subscription, but a really good model currently for players that are just some casuals and don't want to commit too hard into a game. It's really easy to do this with the new model. And okay, nice 2v2 here. Okay. This Guardian goes ham. Holy shit. There's another one. Nice. So the first thing I think is really good is that they have a really good, let's say, money model. But I also think, let me concentrate again. I just want to make sure that I win this 1-on-1. Look at that burst, it's insane. And the second, or there are two more possibilities. Then I think it's also I can't fight. Okay, now I'm dead. So the second thing is the combat. It's such a really good combat. I think there's no better MMO just combat-wise. And the third part, I think that's a really funny part, but it's also true, is that Guild Wars 2 was, I think, never down since its launch. The servers are always up. There was once, at least as far as I can remember, once a reroll of the servers, so you lost a few hours just because there was some bug. But other than that, there was never a downtime. And please tell me one MMO that managed to do this. And they should just promote this. I think that's just such an outstanding thing to have. You can say your MMO is running 24/7, 365 days a year. That's not something you can say for a lot of MMOs, or at least as far as I know. So I think I will go for another PvP match now, just because here's not that much fun anymore. Let's see. Maybe we can get some PvP Willbender matches as well. So on power builds, I think I wouldn't generalize actually. So if I play Willbender, I would, on my sword, because it's my defensive weapon set, I would play energy and cleansing, just because energy is so broken. It gives you a full dodge, and if I swap to sword, oftentimes I want to disengage, and the dodge is really good. And on Willbender I don't have that much cleanse anyway, so the cleansing sigil is really good. For the offensive sigils, I go for Rage, which gives me some quickness when I crit. It has a rather long cooldown of 20 seconds, but it's nice for the burst. So if I swap to Spear, I will most likely have it off cooldown so I can get the quickness. And if I pair it with my Hydromancy sigil, which is the sigil that gives you the ice burst when you swap to this weapon, and I have 100% crit chance, which I almost have on the Willbender build, I will almost 100% of the time crit with my Ice Burst and get the Rage proc, and then I have 4 or 5 seconds of quickness where I can get my full burst. So that's the idea behind those two sigils. If you play, for example, some Hammer Catalyst build or something, I would oftentimes go, if you only have one weapon set like Engineer or Catalyst or Elementalist in general, I would go for the defensive options, because most likely they will save your ass at some point. If you play something like, for example, Spear Mesmer, something really offensive, there are really good options. For example, I would say the Absorption Sigil is really good. It steals 3 boons when you interrupt the foe. Really strong on Mesmer because you have so many interrupts. And if you have some boon duration, I really like some quickness application. For example, Celerity can be really good. If you stun someone, you get Celerity Sigil proc, which gives you quickness. And if you have boon duration, it's almost up to 10 seconds. Really strong. What are other options? Of course, you can go Force. Just flat 5% more damage. Can be worth it on some situations. Hi, greetings back to Venezuela. Yeah, so as always, you can, all the videos, all the streams are saved on YouTube. It's just not saved under the video section. It's saved under the live section. So if you go to my channel and then go to live, you will see all the previously recorded and done streams of mine. So you can watch them all if you like. There will be every single good and also all my bad plays. You can watch them again and again if you want. Yeah, exactly. So I would say oftentimes it's not the way to go just to say, oh, 5% more damage, that's the best sigil you can have. I would say oftentimes in World vs. World, you should think about the bigger picture and say, okay, if I can do my burst in 50% of the time because I have quickness, I have, let's say, to some extent 100% damage increase, you know, not 5% by the sigil. If you think about that like this, it's definitely way better. And the accuracy sigil, I would say yes, you can do, but oftentimes you have so many strong options for sigils that it's not worth it to go for the 5% more damage or something, because if you can kill an enemy with the 5% more damage, you most likely can also kill it without this 5% sigil and put rather something defensive on or something that gives you way more oppressiveness. For example, on condition builds, you always want to run some kind of Geomancy or Doom setup if you can fit it, because it's so oppressive, gives you so much condi pressure. But yeah, I can, after this match I will go back to some power builds and show you my sigils choices. So what do we have here? It's gonna be a really bursty match. Let's see what we can get here.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs.
Of course, if you go for a really long, so example, if you play some bruiser damage build, oftentimes the quickness is not that important because you are not going for a burst. And of course, it would make more sense to go for something.
The waterfall is yours.
Go on this one.
The quarry.
How did we lose?
You've captured the quarry.
Actually got the kill on this guy. It's actually really fun. Get it? Signet? Yes, Signet, very nice. Kill this, please, please, please. Nice. Holy shit, was that close.
You've taken the graveyard. The waterfall is yours. You've lost the quarry.
No. Yeah, I get your point, Roaming Spirit. Of course, I get it. I would say yes, it makes sense on builds that really can make use out of that because they don't want to fight like a bruiser, like a Deadeye, for example. It always wants to go in, kill someone, and therefore doesn't want to fight that long. If it doesn't kill someone, it has to disengage. And I think in this kind of sense, it makes sense to have something that just boosts your damage by just the notch that you need to kill it. But I will show you my choices on the other builds. So Engineer, I would say Engineer in World vs. World is underperforming. Is underperforming, definitely, I would say. Thanks for the follow. Really nice, appreciate it. Engineer is underperforming, I would say, in World vs. World currently. It's not bad. You can play some core Engineer build. You can play some really fun Holosmith builds that you can do.
The waterfall is yours.
No. So greedy, but I got it. Yeah, so I would say you get really good damage on 101s. You can play some Holosmith, you can play some core Engineer. But I would say if you're in outnumbered situations, oftentimes Engineer falls short. That's why I would say in roaming, at least in my opinion, you have to have some capability of going outnumbered. And that's where Engineer lacks. No, I think Hydromancy is actually just normal. I think it does, I don't know, if it crits maybe 4k, 5k, it's normal. It was not, the Ice Relic was bugged, yes, you could get so much, I think 12k or something with your Elite. That's true. But now it's fixed, I think. And I also think, I think Engineer is okay on the cleansing side. I think it's not that strong. There are better options, of course. Oh no.
Lost the quarry. The waterfall is yours.
That was close. Yeah, I think 3 to 4k proc from Hydromancy is normal. Nothing special. Yeah, I was thinking the same, Green, yes. I was thinking that I was going to die here as well. So at this point I was thinking, okay, just think and engage, because offense is the best defense, of course, you know.
You've lost the quarry. Help me, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in the wiki, but I think it's definitely a 3k or something if you're on a power build, the Hydromancy proc.
You've captured the quarry.
I wouldn't. The problem is I would never generalize sigil choices, because if you always say, okay, in
Target item.
give me a second, I have to win this match. That otherwise I would feel so bad.
You lost the waterfall. You've taken the graveyard. The waterfall is yours. Target item. You've lost the quarry.
So 1, 2, 3 people here. I mean, interesting choice here. Nice. Good, we won this game. Really nice.
There. Target identified. You've captured the quarry. You lost the waterfall.
Crazy. I got the snipe. Very good.
Your team is victorious.
Very nice. Willbender diff, yeah, I don't know. It was actually, I really was enjoying the Water one, where I won with 70 HP. I think that was really nice. So let me think. So we can test the Hydromancy proc, and I can also more easily explain it when I'm on the build, of course. So on Thief, I would agree. Oftentimes it's more worth it to run some damage increase, like 5%. But on Willbender, I wouldn't do that. So Rage, 3 seconds without the boon duration. With boon duration, that's maybe like 5 seconds of quickness. And then the Hydromancy will just enable the Rage proc instantly and also do some nice damage. So if I now go to some mob here and just hit it, be aware that I don't have any might now, so it might be way higher in a fight. And now I stop auto-tagging, please stop, yeah, and then I swap. It's 1.5k. If I have might, it's like 3k or something. And it gives me instantly the quickness proc. And like I said, normally if you choose for force and accuracy, we would get in total probably something like a 7% damage increase permanently, which is of course really strong. But if you go then and think about that, I do most of my damage on this spear weapon set at least, I will do in the first 3 seconds, yeah, of let's say 5 seconds. And if I now increase this by 7%, I deal in total 7% more damage than if I use force and accuracy. But if I now go with this setup, if I swap in the fight in melee range, which I will try to be because, of course, my spear attacks are melee, so if I swap to spear, I probably am in melee range. Then I will get the Hydromancy proc, hit critically, and get the Rage proc, which will give me 5 seconds of quickness. So the 5 seconds of my normal burst window that deals 7% more damage will now, because I have 50% quickness, quickness gives me 50% faster cast time, the burst window will now be in 2 to 3 seconds. So I will not get a damage increase by 7%, but I will get a damage increase by 100% because in the first 2.5 seconds, I will deal the same damage as I would in the first 5 seconds without quickness. That's how it works. And that's why you would choose this on this setup. Of course, it's way harder to dodge as well, because 5 seconds you can avoid much more of this damage. And if you hit all of the 2.5 seconds, it's way harder to dodge if you just have a 2.5 seconds spike. So if you now go to, for example, my Mesmer setup, you would have a different weapon choice. You would normally go for some more burst damage like a Thief, so some force and accuracy, I would say. But on Mesmer, especially on Mirage, I say energy is so good. I would always go for energy because your offensive skills are also your dodge. So that's why I go for energy here. And then let's say, what do we have? This is good. This is good. Nah. Most of the sigils are actually not that good. I would say the best ones for power builds are, of course, force and celerity. And then you can go for accuracy either on the other set, and maybe even if you roam and you don't die a lot, you can even go for stacking sigils if you really feel like. Just be aware that you have to put them on the water weapons as well. Yeah, exactly. So I would say on bunker builds, it's way better to have some procs than just damage increases. And on, let's say, a really burst build, on a range build that is really just power damage, then you can think about going for air or some, let's really just brute force damage, like 5% more force, more. But for example, on a Mesmer, it's even worth it to think about this, you know, just because it gives you way more pressure. You have more time to hit all your attacks. So there is a lot of, you know, things you have to consider, that it's oftentimes not just 5% more damage, it's also you lose the utility from having another sigil that is probably might help you even more. For example, I really enjoy having absorption on a build that interrupts a lot because you steal a lot of boons then, and it's only on a 10-second cooldown. 3 boons, it's so strong. And I really enjoy also having, for example, a super residual of generosity, just because you crit, of course, in a power build quite often, and oftentimes a power build doesn't have that really good condi cleanse, so therefore you can make use out of this condition transfer. But I would say in my builds, I oftentimes think, okay, the 5% doesn't make enough of a difference to put down the utility. But that's a preference, you know. If you say that's a difference maker, of course, go for it. But oftentimes I feel like it's not. Therefore, I would say on most builds, I actually don't go for the force choice. Accuracy is something different. Accuracy, I would say, is more likely to be used in a power build because it's 7%. So if you crit cap with it, if you just calculate 7% and you have a 200% critical damage, it will be a 14% damage increase, you know, just by that's how math works. And therefore, it's way better than force if you have more than 2.5 of ferocity. Of course, that's just if you do a statistic, you know, if you go for 5% crit chance and you get 7% more, it's most likely not gonna crit in the time you need it. So therefore, it's not that, you know, likely that you will on average get the crits. But that's just how I would say I would calculate it. So to summarize, oftentimes I feel like force is the wrong choice on power builds. I would say there are a lot better sigils, at least for some bruiser rebuilds. If you really go for Deadeye or Daredevil roamer, then that's maybe something different, because there you can disengage if you feel pressured, but most bruisers can't do that, at least not that easily. So then you would go for something more valuable in this situation. Thanks a lot for the follow, really appreciate it. So I think let's go for one more PvP match. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer. Also, comments about the stream, about my gameplay are always appreciated. If you have something that you want to see improved, please let me know. I'm still kind of new to content creation, so please don't be shy. Yeah, thank you all for the follows. I hope you enjoy the stream. Maybe you can learn something as well. I at least learn a lot when I stream. Not only in Guild Wars, how to not die on some builds, how to kill enemies quickly, but also, of course, how to improve my stream. Yeah, I mean, so Adriano, if you can vouch for that, I think I will go with it. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I will try to keep my schedule up and try to stream a lot, and also try to make more YouTube guides, content, maybe some stream highlights if it comes up, and then I hope I will get more popular, and because I really enjoy it right now. I hope you guys are also enjoy the content I deliver. Yeah, probably you refer to the Signet Catalyst build. Or do you mean the solo build? In any case, it always is greatly appreciated if you find my content helpful and want to support me. It's always nice. Oh, the queue times are long as... Yeah, I try to be as, not only entertaining, but also very educational, so that you come to my YouTube channel if you're looking for some help in some regard, and then you will be more knowledgeable after you watch the video and something. So I really enjoy it if you feel like you get some help there. So for condition builds, it's highly dependent on what condition build you run, because for example, if you look at condition herald, and you want much more, condition variety often. So therefore, Doom is really good. Geomancy might be good on builds like Elementalist, where you permanently weapon swap because it procs from your nice free will benders. That's how you want to see it. That's a funny story, Adriano. I mean, I can imagine that's actually, you just run around, do some stuff, and then sometimes you encounter someone and really enjoy it to make one-on-ones and beat it, and then you just look at it, and then it's a streamer. I think that's actually really fun. So it means that you are not that bad at the game, I guess. Really good. Yeah. So I would also like the same argument, Roaming Spirit. I would never go for bursting in World vs. World, just because it's a 5% damage increase. If you look at Doom and Geomancy on Signet Catalyst, if you are in melee range, for example, a thief engages on you, and then you swap your elements and you proc your Geomancy, so the thief gets hit by the Geomancy proc, and instantly gets also the Doom proc applied. So it will get, I think, 3 stacks of bleeding and some poison. If you have Might, if it ticks completely, it's almost 10k or so of damage. Think about it, 10k just by swapping your elements, which you will do anyway. That's insane. No way that bursting does more damage over time. And it's also that you have bleeding and Doom proc, the poison proc. Of course, if you're on a ranged build, for example, even the Signet Catalyst build wants to go into melee to some extent, because you can't kite that easily, Why do I play against a Sword Dagger there? It's just unlucky. Yeah, exactly. That's the combo as well. So if you're on range you not only want to get value from the Doom proc, you also can use it when you are in dodge or whatever, if you precasted the Earth 2 on Scepter.
You've taken the graveyard.
Give me a target, please, please, please. Oh, he actually got the decap. Insane. So, on
You've taken the graveyard.
yeah, have fun, or at least enjoy some work. Oh my god, how many people are there? Thanks for being here.
You've lost the quarry.
The Invalm is so long.
Your base is
So here I disengaged just because I had to disengage, but I also wanted to get value, that's why I got the kill here on close, just to make sure that I get also some kill here. Okay, oh my god, it's 3 people here.
waterfall is yours. You lost the graveyard.
Yeah, sure. In PvE, you always want to have this 5% because in PvE you scale way more from all your passive stacks. So you get 5% on every really long-lasting conditions. You have a lot of expertise, so all your skills are way better. In PvE, of course, that's the way to go. You're completely right. That's a really confusing part for a lot of people, that PvE is completely different. I think it's also really swapped because you would never go for rage or something in PvE, of course, because you have so much quick list anyway. And Geomancy is completely Hydromancy is completely useless for the most part. There are actually some builds that use this, but most of the time you don't run it.
Your base is under attack.
Did we get him? Nice, I got the juke. Very nice.
You lost the graveyard.
Please do something, team. Yeah, so in PvP, all the sigils are way worse. So you oftentimes go for the best defensive option. Because in general energy, even though it's worse, it's still good. In World vs. World, it's not like this. You have a little bit more choice.
waterfall is yours.
He actually coped me in a 1v2. It's insane. Yeah, it has different stats in, right? I can show you. In PvP, cleansing gives only one condition remove, not 3. And energy gives you only 25% of your endurance back. So it's way worse.
You've captured the quarry.
But it's still run, you know? It's still so good that you still run it. Which is crazy. Oh my god. I choked him so hard and I still died. Please get the decap. Oh my gosh. That's a close match. That's insane, actually.
The waterfall is yours.
No. I actually mistimed it by a little bit. Still worth. Why stomp? It hurts. 10%, please don't stomp. Please cleave or rest. Please don't stomp. You waste your time.
You lost the waterfall. You've captured the quarry.
He has no dodges, please.
You've taken the graveyard.
No one close. Interesting.
The waterfall is yours. You've lost the quarry. You lost the waterfall.
Oh my god, he timed it perfectly. Not. Oh my god, that was actually... I thought I would get out of there. Can't do anything. I think I just threw the match. That's unlucky.
You lost the waterfall. Your base is under attack. Your base is under attack.
Yeah, sad. Really sad. We could have won this one, for sure. I played that so bad, holy shit. No.
Your base is under attack. Your base is under attack. The waterfall is yours.
Yeah, I think that was the last one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. You could learn something. And I think we hopefully see us on Saturday again, next stream.
Your base is under attack.
And have a nice week until then. Don't forget to enter the giveaway on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.